Good morning. Welcome to Community Coffee. I am your host, Trina Myers, and I have a very special guest, but of course, all my guests are special. I have my dear friend here, Tamela, and we go way back, don't we?
We certainly do.
Can
We
you
got,
believe
I
it's
think
coming
we
up
got,
on 30 years?
it has to be at least, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
time goes by way too fast, doesn't it?
it does. A blink of an eye.
Yeah. So we were actually wicked stepsisters together
That's
and
right.
one of our community theater plays, Cinderella. And
Hmm.
I think that was my first community play here in our area in Iowa. And I was then kind of hooked from there.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I think community theater is so much fun. And I don't know, I think I did my first show in Canton at the Canton Riverboat in the 1980s. And then I moved to Kilcock and started doing things for Great River Players. And then I moved to Orlando and worked for Walt Disney.
Disney, I
And
remember that.
and
Yeah.
then I moved to Fort Lauderdale. I did theater in Fort Lauderdale, and then I moved to Pennsylvania. I did theater in Pennsylvania. I mean, it's just a good way to meet people, you
It
know?
really is,
So,
and in a sense, you're giving back to the community,
mhm.
because you're providing entertainment, you're making people happy,
Mhm.
or depending on the genre of the play, you
Mostly happy, I
still
hope.
right, you still elude different emotions, and you're still contributing to the community because there's so much
Mhm.
that goes into theater, not just what you see on stage.
Right. Yeah. And like I'm currently directing a show. We're just casting it today, yesterday and today we're casting it. And it's the
Oh,
Kilburnett skits, and it's going to be held in Canton. So it's my
oh
first
my
time directing
God.
for Canton, so that's going to be exciting.
Oh, how fun. You'll have to keep me up to date. I'd love to come down and see it.
And you can be in
Anything
it.
you do, it's like you have the touch of gold, it's just it's so magical and comes to life. I am so involved in, different things in the community. My mom actually was here visiting from North Carolina and had asked, was I going to get back involved? And as much as I would love to, one, my memory's not the same. I could do improv because it won't matter. It can change from day to day. I can't remember lines like I used to. But to the time being able to commit to it. Now, if you need
Hmm.
somebody who, creative design for stage or, I can be that person for you, but being up on the stage, it's a little challenging for me right now.
Well, in the fall, well, probably early December, we're going to do radio theater, which is there's no memorization. You just read a script.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, there
I'll,
you go.
I'll
So
keep
you've
you in
got me
mind for
on
that
the
one.
hook. You heard it live right here. Oh, I love it. And is that in Canton or is that in Keokuk?
It's going to be in Canton.
Okay.
And we're
Awesome.
going to do It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, I love that show.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Can I just be the drunk angel and we'll call it a day?
Why not?
It won't matter the lines.
That's right.
Did you hear that bell? Oh goodness. You never know. The two of us to get together, you just always brighten my day and make me laugh. And the memes that you put on your social media, I love it. I'm always looking forward to it.
Well, I try to make it uplifting. I try to always put a smile on somebody's face. I think
Yeah.
that's my goal.
Oh, I completely understand. That's one of the reasons why I started this podcast was to instill positivity into communities and to help um, bring people together from all over the world, you know, not
Mhm.
just what can you do in your community, but how can you help others in other communities.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the reasons why, you know, we had talked about you coming on the show, because you are now doing something really exciting, that we both have in common, that you are a Reiki practitioner.
Right. Yes. I actually love it. It's so much fun. A lot of people don't know what Reiki is. It's
Right.
actually it's two Japanese words, Rei and Ki, and Rei loosely translated means ghost. Okay. And the Ki means a vapor. And so over time that became more of a high intelligence kind of thing. So it's more of a spirit, kind of a spiritual kind of healing, which as a practitioner, I'm not saying I'm going to heal you. The healing comes from the person themselves.
Right.
I'm just a vessel to try to get the energy to focus where it needs to go.
Right. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that they have that energy within themselves. And if they learn how to utilize Reiki, they can do it even on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such an amazing energy exchange. I usually explain to people, and when I explain it this way, like the light bulb goes off. So I usually say, well, when you think about the ocean and you have high tide and low tide, and it's a magnetic draw, you know, from the moon is reacting to, or the water's reacted to the moon, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
we're mainly made up of water. And so we also have that energy, that inertia going through our body. And so by that healing touch, you're able to then direct that energy. And
Mm-hmm.
usually when I explain it that way, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because they've seen the ocean, high tide, low tide, knowing that it's based on the moon, they can wrap their mind around it.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Reiki, it's also like your seven chakras. You have
Yeah.
seven main chakras, and it runs from the base of your spine all the way to the top of your head. And those chakras have to be aligned, just like the wheels on your car. You know,
Mhm.
if one of them's off a little bit, it's going to affect all the other chakras. And then you might be feeling different things, and you might think, why am I off? Have you ever had a day where you think, man, I'm off today, I just can't
Yeah.
get with it? And it's probably your chakra needs to be aligned. So,
Yeah.
and what you have to do is just ask a few questions and try to figure out which chakra is it that needs to be aligned. And we'll
Mhm.
talk about the seven chakras,
Yeah.
like starting with the root chakra at the base of your spine. You know, it has its color with that is associated with red. Is the red color. Usually, when I have a client on the table, I have a whole bunch of different crystals, and I have this little red crystal,
Oh,
and I
okay.
will put that at the root. You know,
Mhm.
um, the root is like a connection. I always think of like the root of a tree, you know, the root of a
Yeah.
tree. It's how you're connected to others, to your community, to your family. You feel safe, you feel grounded. Um, any change in that root system causes some unbalanced feelings. So, one of the things, like if your root chakra is out of alignment, you might feel anxious or unsafe. Um, you could even have digestive issues. You know, that's something that manifests itself when the root chakra is out of alignment. And so, what I do when I do my chakra, I have my client lay on a table, and then I do a sound bath at the same time.
Oh, nice.
So each each chakra has a vibration,
Right. It's like
and
a
so
hertz, almost how the dogs can hear different levels.
right. I started off with the Tibetan,
The singing
sound
bowl.
bell and the
Yeah.
singing bowl, and I got to where, I'll see if I can make it sing for you a
It's
bit.
so hard.
Yeah, once you get it going, you'll just hear this constant hum. It's just like a like that. I'm not very
I
good
had
at that.
gotten my son some of these,
Yeah,
and
they're really
tried
neat.
it before I sent it to him, and I couldn't get it to work. It's
Well,
definitely a skill that you have to practice.
yes, my son has one, and he can actually he puts water in it, and he can get it to bubble and dance
Oh,
when he's with the
wow.
vibrations that it produces. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, each of the chakras has a vibration that it responds to. Kind of like, remember a few years ago, the monks had the humming.
Yes.
You could get the CD of the,
Yeah, they're doing the,
and and it was relaxing because all you do is you just kind of focus on that sound, and you just
mhm.
kind of let everything else go,
Right.
and that's basically what you need to do, is just let it go, let your body try to heal itself,
Yes.
you know.
I like pulling up Spotify and or YouTube. YouTube actually has a little bit better of options to pull up, and you can be specific on what type of vibration that you want to pull up on YouTube to hear,
Mhm.
depending on what your needs are.
Yeah, with my clients, I give them a choice if they want like an eye mask, and I have eye masks that I'll spray with some like rose spray or something, just to heighten, the,
Right, our senses.
yeah, just to make it more relaxing for them. And of course, we have to smudge our area. Now, I personally do not like to smudge with the wood,
Yeah.
but I have smudge spray. I don't know if you can see that
Oh.
smudge
I
spray.
didn't even know. I have my sage and I'll burn my sage, but I didn't know that there was a spray.
Yeah, this is sage spray, and there's also recipes online that you can make your own.
Oh,
And with essential oils, and you can also put, like, this one actually has a crystal in it. So they've energized it with crystals and things. So it's kind of
right.
cool. And I like it because I just don't like the smoke. And
Okay.
especially after COVID, your lungs
Yeah,
just aren't the same.
right. No,
I
you're
find
absolutely
that my
right.
lungs aren't the
Yes.
same. So, well, let's move on to our next um, chakra, and we're going to move up. So we were at the root, at the base of our spine, and now we're going to move to the sacrum. The sacrum is basically, it's the genital area. That's what you're going to be talking about. And some of the things I've read about it, it kind of hit home that it's your crotch connection. It's how you relate to other people. It's your sexuality. It's
Right.
your imagination. It's all these kind of things. So when that is out of alignment, you can feel frustrated. You might not have good self-esteem. This is your
Mhm.
off days. You're just not on it. So,
Sure.
so that, as people are listening, they can maybe kind of self-diagnose themselves right now and say, oh, you know what, maybe that's what's going on. You
Mm.
can't have a good relationship with someone else if that chakra is out of alignment, because not only are you not giving yourself enough love, and you have to love yourself to love somebody else, you
Absolutely.
know so you've got to get that back in alignment. And the color for that chakra is an orange color. So
Mhm.
this is the little stone that I would put on you there. So really, it's not very hands-on. Reiki really isn't
Right.
hands-on.
Right.
You're not really massaging, or you're not really doing
Mhm.
anything. You're basically hovering. over them
Right.
and focusing energy to their body,
And it's
So,
amazing that you can really, I've had some people that I've worked on and the energy's super strong. And then there's times, like just a few weeks ago, I had a lady whose ankles were swollen. And, I did a body scan to find where that block was.
mhm,
And when I got to it, she was like, "Oh, wow, I can feel that," and it's
mhm.
just amazing what our bodies can do.
Uh-huh. Well, I've had clients who just started crying after a session, because
Yes,
it's just a release, So
right.
it makes you feel good that you made someone else feel good.
Mhm.
To me, it means a lot to me. So, your next chakra is your solar, and I always think of solar as yellow because of sun. That's the color that's associated with it. Um, it's knowing your own value. It's your self-esteem. It's your emotions. This is all the things that chakra um, controls. So you have to learn how to value yourself, and you have to get over like feeling guilty about things like that. If your solar plexus is out of whack, you just don't, you feel like you're not good enough. Sometimes you're always doubting yourself, like, oh, I do that, but oh, I don't think I can do it,
Mhm.
because we always kind of self-sabotage ourselves with the
Yes.
word try. Oh, I'll
Yes.
try. Well, you don't want to say I try, I
No,
will do it, just be
right.
more affirmative to yourself. So, and then your next one is going to be your fourth chakra, and that is your heart chakra. It's associated with the color green. Here's the green stone that we have for that. The little green is like a jade stone, and it's let's see, it's how you love others, how you love yourself, how you give of yourself to others. So that's a really important chakra. I mean, if that's out of alignment, can you imagine just going through life and just not feeling anything, for others or anything like that? So
Mhm.
that's really sad. When it's out of alignment, you might feel lonely, you might feel disconnected, you might really be involved in a grief process, going
Mhm.
through some grief. Physically, you might experience chest pains, even heartburn, and even your posture could be affected by that chakra being out of alignment.
Hmm.
And so the root, your sacrum, and your solar are called your lower triangle. And then you've got your heart, and then you've got your upper triangles. And your upper triangle is going to be your throat chakra. This is where you speak your truth. Um, if you
I've
feel
had
like you,
mine where it gets like, and that's when I know that mine is out of alignment.
yeah, it's well, one of the things I was going to say is that you have to think of how many times you say, I'll try, or I need to do
Right.
this. Because if you're saying, I'll try, or I need to, you're implying that there's force over your free will,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, when you think about that, you're trying to force
Yeah.
yourself. I'm going to try, but you just need to come up with more positive talk for yourself, because your positive talk to yourself is your superpower. you
Yes.
know you have to be your own cheerleader.
Yes.
So I think as adults we all find that out as well. So if your throat chakra is out of alignment, you might be experiencing a sore throat.
Mhm.
You might be having to clear your throat quite a bit. You might even have a stiff neck. And this is all signs that chakra is out of alignment. Okay. Let's see. Your next one would be your throat, your third eye right here between your eyebrows. And that is your intuition and your imagination. So, and also it inspires your life. You want to trust your feelings. All this comes from this third eye. So You have to think about extrasensory people who are mediums, have psychic abilities and stuff like this. They've really developed the third eye.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the third eye, if it's out of alignment, you may be extra stubborn when people are asking you to do things. You could be stubborn about things, or you could even suffer headaches, and that could be a sign.
Right.
And then your final one is your crown chakra. And your crown chakra is your connection to the spirit world, whatever you think the spirit world is. I mean, if you're Hindu, Buddha, Christian, Catholic,
Right.
Even atheists believe in something, they believe in nothing. So they have a belief.
Right.
And if that is out of alignment, you probably aren't experiencing like lucid dreams. You're probably, you're not stopping and smelling the roses. You're not out staring at the stars at night, all the things that bring you a little bit of joy and kind of connect you to another realm.
Right.
So those are your 7 chakras. There's actually over 80,000 chakras in your body. So,
Right.
but these are your major ones. So
Right.
that's what most people focus on.
Yes. Now, what got you interested in going and learning about Reiki?
Well, when I was getting my bachelor's degree, I was doing bachelor's in psychology, and I took a parapsychology also, and I really, really liked that. And then I took a philosophy class, and in the philosophy class, of course, philosophy has like 8 different disciplines. So you have like ethics and all the different things. Well, metaphysical science was one of the philosophies. And so I thought, you know what, this really hits home to me because I just like more metaphysical things. And so I started looking into it. I got my master's in that, and then I got my doctorate in metaphysical science. And so from there, I thought, okay, I'm going to go into chakra alignment, Reiki. I do card reading. I do crystal reading. I just everything. I just love that. I just love that aspect of life,
Yeah,
kind of like a magical
it is very
side of life.
magical. I'm very intuitive, and I pull it into my art. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been that way since I was a little girl that I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, I'll talk about it a little bit with my close friends, but I don't really talk about it a whole lot, just generally speaking. But I don't know, have you seen the tree video that is going around on TikTok
Uh-uh.
where okay, so you ground yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
grounding, for those of you who don't know, it's where you're barefooted and you're on the ground, and it's part of that energy, going into your body. So apparently, you stand next to a tree grounded, and you say, "Tree, do you hear me? If you hear me, touch me." And all these people, you could see the branch, like they'll do a scan so you could see there's nobody around them. And then all of a sudden, the tree comes down and touches them. It's pretty wild.
Oh my. Well, I might have to try that.
Yes, yes. And I think I did see somebody talk a little bit more about it, that you have to have a connection with the tree, and you may not have a connection with every tree.
Mm.
It's just like people,
Right.
some people you can, like you and I, we just have that connection,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's some people that you just don't have that,
You just
that
don't get the warm
energy.
fuzzies from them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so
We'll blame it on their chakra.
I guess maybe we need to go do Reiki on some of these trees that aren't responding.
Well, you can do Reiki on pets. I mean, you
Yes.
can do Reiki on anything.
I
Reiki is a life force. As long as it's got a life force, you can do
Yeah.
Reiki on it.
I am
So,
actually a pet magnet. I don't have pets myself because I have allergies, but
uh-huh,
everywhere I go, it's like they, because they do sense that energy, and
hmm
they tend to have me touch them where they're needed,
uh-huh,
which is really fascinating. And before I knew about this, I recall um, being younger and being in an aquarium and fish following me, and it was crazy. I mean, literally, they would go back or forth depending on where I was.
uh-huh.
Now I know it's based on that vibration because that's how they respond, is that vibration. And so I obviously have a high vibration that they're able to
Yeah.
pick up on.
That's really awesome. Well, one thing before we end up leaving one another, thought maybe with your listeners, they might want to try their hand at seeing what chakra. I thought I'd give you like a little scenario, and then they can decide which chakra they think is
Okay,
involved.
sounds
So
good.
yeah, if you're saying to yourself, I can't pay my bills, I don't have enough money to put gas in my car, I don't have enough money for food, how am I going to pay my babysitter? What chakra do you think is involved in that? And I'll let you know. I'll just let you ponder it. Do you think it's the root chakra? Do you think it's the crown chakra? What do you think it is? Well, actually, it's going to be your root
Yeah.
chakra because that's your survival chakra.
Mhm.
And so anything having to do with maintaining your life, things like that, that would be that's the chakra that would be involved. And then let's say you have a friend that says, I am going to slow down because I think there's going to be a cop right over the next hill. You're going flying down the highway. We've all had that little, you know, episode like, oh, I better slow down. It's a
Yeah.
hunch. So hunches are your sixth chakra, your third eye.
Mhm.
So so it's kind of fun just to think of like when you start listening to people and listening to what they're saying and you're thinking, you can kind of tell which chakra is involved in the talk that they're giving you.
Right.
So it's kind of fun. I think
It
I find it
really
fun.
is. It
Hmm
is. If anything, no matter what your beliefs are, I took a debate class in college, and
hmm
what that taught me was to understand all sides, to understand every point of view as possible so that you can make the best judgment.
hmm
And so learning about this is the same thing. It's about learning, more or less about yourself more than
hmm
anything.
Right, right. And anyone can do it. If they have a
Yes.
desire to learn it, they can do it.
Mhm.
You can find online um, classes for Reiki or crystals or whatever you think that you might be interested in.
Mhm.
So go out there and explore life and have fun.
Yes, absolutely. Now, if somebody was interested in being one of your clients, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they could just contact me on Facebook. I don't have like a business page or anything like that. And I really don't have a set fee that I charge or anything like that. I just let them decide what they want to. I let them get their chakra involved. Because they know their finances better than I know their finances. And if they can't afford anything, that's okay too. I just want them to feel better. I want them to be their best. So they can just get a hold of me right there on Facebook under Tamela La Foe.
When we're done, if you could go back into the comments and just put the link on how people can reach you, that would
Okay.
be great. That makes it a lot easier for our viewers. And
Yeah, because
anything else you'd like to share, feel free to put it in the comments. Our viewers tend to know that that's where they go to find the resources is
mhm.
after a show. It's all in the comments.
Okay, that sounds perfect. I can do that. Well,
Uh,
Trina, it's been so much fun. Thank you
I
so much.
know, I know. I love being around you. Is there any last thing you'd like to share with our viewers?
Just don't approach life with a closed mind.
Yes.
Just keep your mind open, just like a parachute.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I hope that the viewers were able to learn a little bit more about Reiki and your chakra, and definitely reach out to Tamela or myself if you have any additional questions. We'll be more than happy to share our resources with you.
Yes, we will.
All right. Well, you all have a wonderful and beautiful rest of your Sunday, and have a great week. And we'll see you again next week on Community Coffee.
Thanks, Trina.